Shout out to G-Man Boxing. Where's the piss bottle? It's over there.
All right, so Oleksandr Usyk in recent pictures has been shown that he has packed on quite a significant, I want to say, amount of muscle. He's definitely looking a lot bigger than he did, certainly this time last year. And a lot of people are saying going into the Anthony Joshua fight, this is exactly what he needed to do. He needs to be able to take the fight to Anthony Joshua. He needs to be able to rough Anthony Joshua up. He was getting roughed up by Chisora. It's just not going to be the same. You know, he needs to put on all this muscle. Now, I've always felt that for Usyk to be at his best, he needs to literally fight at his walk around cruiserweight weight. So whatever he was weighing in a cruiserweight, whether it be 210, 215, that's the ideal weight he should come in at. Why? Because he will, and even at cruiserweight, he was able to keep a lot of his stamina. He would keep that stamina. He would keep that work rate. AJ is known to kind of in the mid rounds. That's kind of AJ's weak spot, where if he overexerts himself, he's resting a bit, he's taking a bit of a break. That's when Usyk starts to come on the strongest. We've seen that against Derek Chisora. People still talk about the Chisora fight and they say they weren't impressed. I mean, what did you expect? Usyk is more a boxer. He fights with a lot of skill. Is he the biggest puncher at heavyweight? No. But in the 7th round, did he buzz Chisora? Yes, he did. Chisora has a good chin. Very good chin by heavyweight standards. So Usyk has enough power there. Did they expect the knockout, Dylan White style? Because that fight was very competitive. As far as I was concerned, the Usyk Chisora fight, apart from the first 2-3 rounds, it was all Usyk. So I felt that Usyk, his best plan going into this Anthony Joshua fight is to stay at his ideal walk around natural weight. If you wanted to pack on a bit of muscle, gradually build it up. But to pack it all on, thinking that, if I'm weighing the 230s and AJ's weighing the low 240s, it's not going to be as much of a difference. It will be. It will be. And you need to remember, right, is that Usyk's body, like I've talked about this before, but body types are a certain way. If you look at David Haye, for example, right, David Haye, growing up, was a skinny guy. David Haye, by his own admission, used to put weights in his shorts to weigh in closer to heavyweight as an amateur. Right? He was fixated at being a heavyweight, so he pumped himself full of protein shakes and weights to gain a lot of muscle, even a cruiserweight, so he could fight at these higher weights. David Haye looked like the sort of guy who could do 12 rounds at a decent pace, but he couldn't. He was very economical with his shots. He was always had poor stamina. Why did he have poor stamina? Because David Haye's body was not naturally, genetically designed to carry around all that weight. His lungs were not designed to carry 15 odd stone, of muscle. It's just not how his body's designed. All right. Now with Usyk, to a lesser extent, because he's not obviously done what David Haye's done, and he's a natural cruiserweight / heavyweight, unlike David Haye. But even still, packing on extra muscle, or anytime I've seen a heavyweight pack on extra weight, with the exception being Tyson Fury, it's normally been to their detriment. There's always exception to the rules. Tyson Fury comes to mind. I didn't think putting on extra muscle going into the Wilder rematch would be good for him. He proved me wrong. But with Tyson Fury, you get the impression that he can carry that quite well and still not really affect him too much. But with Usyk, I don't think he will. And I think that against Anthony Joshua, it's going to be... he really needs to rely on his strengths, which are his movement, his stamina, his punch volume, his ring IQ, which won't really be hurt, to be fair, by the extra weight. But I genuinely feel if he wants to give himself his best shot at winning, he needs to be in the 2 teens, certainly. At the very max, 220. Very low 220. But if he wants to give himself his best shot at winning, I too think he needs to be in the 2 teens. Because he's put on all this extra muscle, I was already leaning towards Anthony Joshua before. But if he say we have a weigh-in, AJ weighs 244 and Usyk weighs 232. It's only 12 pounds. But that to me, I'd look at that and I'd say, do you know what, AJ's got this. Because how would Usyk's body wouldn't have even had a chance to really acclimatise itself to that extra weight, if you know what I mean. So like, say for argument's sake, he'd gone to heavyweight and he'd weighed in, first fight against Ches Witherspoon 2019, 232. Not ideal, but at least he'll have 2 years to kind of get adjusted to having the extra weight. If you're going straight in after doing all this in a short space of time, I mean, okay, good luck with that. You know, let me know how that works out. But I just don't think that's a good idea. And a part of me wonders why. I never understand it when fighters do it. You know, I really don't. I mean, the old cliche is if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I've never like when I see fighters who, like Deontay Wilder used to say it a lot, be like, oh, I weigh in at this weight, but you know, I really want to weigh in at this weight. But it's like, hang on a sec, you look fine at that weight. In terms, like, aesthetically, you look fine either way. But in terms of your performance, you looked fine at that weight. And whenever you put weight on, you've not looked as good. So why would you want to put weight on? It's something that I've never really comprehended in my mind when I look at these fighters. And I know at heavyweight you don't have to make weight at all, but there always is. I've heard David Hay talk about this as well. There's always a natural weight that there's like a set weight that you feel best at. So you as a heavyweight, you could be 6'3", 230 pounds. You might be able to weigh 250 if you wanted, but no, at 230 is where I'm at my best. You know, I used to talk about Joseph Parker. Whenever he would weigh in the 230s, I found that was when we would see the best of Joseph Parker most of the time anyway, when he was in the 230s. When he was in the 240s, that's when he started to look a bit lackluster. But when we got Parker in the 230s, yeah, he looked a lot better. So that's my thoughts on this. Let me know yours in the comment section. Do you think that Oleksandr Usyk putting on extra weight has made a big mistake and that he's actually taken away some of the advantages he has over AJ? Or are you of the opposite belief? Are you someone who believes that actually, do you know what, G, Usyk, even if he weighed 250, he'd still be better than AJ. He'd still have what it takes to beat AJ. He's got Anatoly Lomachenko in his corner. He's got this. I still think Usyk, even at 230, is a big threat to AJ. But I think he's an even bigger threat at 215. Put it like that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, helps your boy out. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. #GMansRocks. All that good stuff. For now, lads and lasses, I'll talk to you. Peace.